Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today we have a very exciting day. We have two keyboards to build, two that I've been waiting for a long time. And I'm going to slow down just a minute, just in case the audio is broken, because I had a little bit of issues at first, but that way I don't say too many things before someone is like, hey, your audio is all screwed up. We have two keyboards today that I've been very much anticipating. The first one is the Cornelius. The Cornelius keyboard is made by, or designed by Foostan, the creator of the Corn keyboard. And it's kind of a unibody split Corn with a little bit of extra column stagger and some extra keys around the sides. Now that I'm at like a 40 or a 34 key layout, I've got tons of keys or tons of extra places now for fun macros and artisan keys, pretty much artisan caps. This was originally going to be I'm going to take this to the office. It's going to be kind of a display piece at the office. It's going to be my super fancy keyboard that never leaves anywhere. But of course, one, if I do end up going back to work, I'm going to work for a remote company, or at the very least, like, if they're a Portland company, we're still on lockdown here, so I won't be going to the office anytime soon. And two, I'm probably not going back to work for a while, so instead this is going to grace my desk here. And possibly, if I enjoy it enough, take the place at my desk of my Revion. If for no other reason than I spent a whole lot of money on this thing, I'm gonna put it to use, because, whew, this thing was not cheap. But it's a solid aluminum case, anodized, it was milled out of aluminum, it's got a brass weight in the bottom, it's gasket mounted, it's like extra fancy. You know, we don't get that kind of fancy in the Ergo splits very often. That's usually left up to the boring rectangles. I will say that they have cooler cases, but, you know, to each their own, whatever. But I've got this. And then, almost as equally anticipated, and way cheaper, I've got my squashkb Yeehaw macropad. It is, I said it last night in a Twitch, it's the meme-est keyboard in the West. It is a macropad that is shaped like Texas. It's got red, white, and blue caps. It's got a rotary encoder that has a star for a knob. It is fantastic. I can't wait. I'm so excited about this. It's just hilarious. It was made in response to the California macropad. Like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna have a meme macropad, so we gotta have one for Texas, right? And I just love the attitude of it. It cracks me up. So we're gonna build that second. It is like the Cornelius is all hot swap and all that stuff. It does have fairly complex assembly because it's gasket mount. I've got to put the gaskets in and stuff like that. But it's otherwise solder free. It's got PCB and everything like that. Whereas this is all components that I have to solder. But it's a macropad. It's 13 keys or 13 switches and a rotary encoder or something like that. So not too hard. Lots of fun. It's got a couple LEDs, so I'll get to try out my new knife tip that I do not have installed on my soldering iron right now, but I have it next to the soldering iron, so I'm excited about this. I was really looking forward to doing some more hacking on the trackpad today, but then I got the shipping notification for these two, and I was just like, okay, I know what Saturday is gonna be, so I'm gonna do this, and then maybe later I might just do some, like, you know, unscheduled streaming of me working on that because it's fun. But anyways, let's get to it. Cornelius up first. Now, I got this yesterday. This has been sitting in it's box overnight, and I tell you what, it's been difficult not to crack both of them open, really. So you're gonna watch me experience this live. And also, if at any point this camera falls over, it's because I've retaped it to the board again, and it just doesn't stick very well. I need to figure out a better solution, but I'm at the point where I'm like, well, so long as it makes it through a stream, I don't care if it falls over after the stream, because I'll just tape it up next time. Ooh. Pretty. Oh, this thing is so heavy. Okay. So we've got the Cornelius, and I ordered an extra PCB, for I don't know what reason. That was like 6 months ago I ordered this, but oh, look at that plate. Look at that beautiful plate. Oh man, that is some fantastic plateness there. Oops, bumped my camera. Oh, wow. This is, I'm hoping, the same rough shade of purple that the Zen is going to be. I think the Zen might be a little bit darker, but that's fine. This is just gorgeous. It's a little warped. It's got a curve to it, but maybe that'll get flattened out in the case. I don't know. That's interesting. It's not perfectly flat. It is a split. It's a, you know, splurgo, or unibody splits are still splits. I've got plenty of unibody splits. In fact, they are pretty much my favorite at this point. So here's the top side of the Cornelius. Let me do this a little slower. I love that font. It's just classy. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just gushing over this board. It can do no wrong. Alright. Let's see if I can do this without hitting everything. Okay. Sorry, you're not going to see my face for a few minutes. Or maybe that's a good thing. So, got the assembly instructions here, or at the very least, the parts list. So, aluminum plate, aluminum top body, foams for sound absorption, gasket foams to support a plate, brass weight with E-black, assembled PCB with Kale sockets, and aluminum bottom body with anodized black or gray or E-white. It's got a build guide for Japanese, a build guide for English, and Let's see if I can do this. Now, can I share this to my computer? Somehow? We'll figure it out. Okay. So in the box, we also have, let me make some room over here for the stuff that comes out of the box. We've got a corn sticker, and this one is shiny. So I've got some corn stickers that I made up. They're just plain black and white. This has got like a rainbow finish to it. It's nice. Hello, T-Squash / Caleb. Welcome. So the all-important sticker, which will go on my board at some point. These are the... It's hard to see them in the camera. You can kind of see it. These are the gaskets. So these will go around the edge of the thing. Here are the foams for sound dampening. Those feel really nice. They're not super heavy, but not super light either. That's good. Okay, here's the PCB. So I have 2 of them. Alright, and here's the moment of truth. Okay. This is... Oh, wow. This is incredibly heavy. That is... Let me see if I can do this without breaking everything. That is a chunk of keyboard. Oh, man. That is very solid. Wow. And it's got this nice tilt to it. You can see from the side, it's got a little built-in tent to it. Oh, wow. Okay. Now I know how the other half lives. With these fancy cases and stuff. Alright, so we've got all of our parts out here. We've got a couple of bump-ons. Although I'm probably going to put different bump-ons on this. Oh no, maybe not, because it's got little spots for them. So, let's get this in the light here. You can see it's got this beautiful embossed Cornelius in the brass weight down here. Real nice looking. On the top side of it, and probably see it in a minute because I have to disassemble this to build it. But there's the pastry keyboard's logo on top of the plate, or on top of the brass weight, and I really wish it was upside down or like reversible, like I could flip it over, but you can't because of the way it's mounted in here. It's a little bit of a bummer, but that Cornelius text is just fab. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up the build guide, get it in a window going here. Wait, that's the Japanese one. Okay. Okay. Let's pull this window over here. Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. Okay. Let's bring up Safari. Okay. I wish I didn't have to redo this every single time, but for some reason it just doesn't, like, pick the right window. Okay, It's gonna be kind of hard for y'all to see that build guide, but I don't think it's that important. Just in case you want to follow along at home, I guess. Oh, and I just realized that the stream title is wrong. Building a Cornelius. Okay. Where's my mouse pointer? There it is. Okay, great. So, let's follow the build guide. Checking the package contents. Make sure all the contents are included. Keyboard, case, body. It's saying inside of the case and other parts are not visible from the front. When assembled, may have some scratches or may not be painted sufficiently. I don't see anything. And it survived my drop test. So that's good. Yeah, this thing is massive. This is not going with me on the trail. This is heavier than my entire sleeping kit, including my tent and my sleeping bag and everything. Like, that's like 5 pounds of metal right there. It's ridiculous. Hello, Dak. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I got the PCB, got the switch plates. That gray with the purple does look really nice. Oh, that's a great choice. Got the foams, got the gasket foam. I got a bunch of screws, an Allen key, and that. Okay. Verify by test matrix remap. Oh yeah. Actually test out that this works. Oh yeah. Whoops. Got a little breakfast on my thumb still. So this is the PCB. Let me get this out of the way a little bit. This is the PCB. It's got some really nice curved tracing going on here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. That is a very tiny chip. Looks like it's got I squared C broken out there. Or no, SPI broken out. Very cool. I'm learning these things. And then here's the back of it. Some just straight lines here, but where the traces aren't straight lines, they have nice curves, swoopy curves to them. Very nice. Got a little bit of mouse bite I might clean off here. But we'll see. Fine. Got your QC pass check mark. Alright, let me get an adapter for this. Let's plug it in. Technical difficulties. Let's see. Okay, so you can hear me. I just can't interact with... Oh, no, wait. Safari is back. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Let me see if I can fix the audio. Okay. I can't hear it. Yeah, so I've oh, my sound is still not working for me. Oh, no, wait. That's why. Okay, we're good. Everything's good. I can hear the music. Y'all can hear the music. There's no choppy audio. You should be able to see me moving. Okay, so the fun part about having everything plugged into the same USB hub is when you break that USB hub for a second, everything goes with it. So what I suspect is it didn't like the magnetic connector. I've had issues with that in the past, where plopping a magnetic connector in doesn't work for some reason. I don't know exactly what's going on. But what I will do is I will, instead of using a magnetic connector for now, I'm just going to use a regular USB-C cable, but that means I need to fish one out. Oh, wait, and you know what? I was just going to use this one. I've got a better one for a number of reasons. So the main reason this one is better is obvious. It's purple. But also because my USB hub that I have on my desk here that everything is plugged into is just USB-A, not USB-C. So if I wanted to use USB-C, I'd either need to use an adapter, which I have a bunch of them, but I can never find the damn things, or run it all the way over to the Mac Mini, which is like on the other side of the desk, and do that. But this is perfect. I get the best of both worlds. I get a matching cable, and I get to plug it in right here. So just a second. All right, let's round two. Hey, look at that. It didn't blow everything up. So this should be flashed with VIA or a VIA compatible firmware. Mac did recognize it as a keyboard and wants me to change things. Okay, so VIA recognized it. Let me real quick. Where's my... Whatever, we'll just plug in our actual switch. Let's plug in a switch here real quick to make sure it works. Okay. I'd say that's a good enough test, because they tested them all before they sent them, so. Alright. Set this to the side for the moment. Great. Okay, recommend use via a remap. Okay, so next up is install the gasket foam. You can also install it on the switch plate instead of the case. Okay. So this is where I need to face out. And disassemble it. So I need... Oh nice, it's only held in right now by 2 screws. Okay. Is this good enough? Yeah. So I really like these new soft boxes for my lights because this is a very shiny material and it's not just blowing everything completely out. So that's good. Okay. And actually, I want to get a little bit bigger head for this, just because I was verging on stripping the head, the screw, which is not good. Okay, can I just... Alright, take those and set those to the side for a second. Ta-da! And now you can see the pastry keyboard logo. It's nice embossed. It's not just a circle that's embossed, and then the logo. It's actually 2 steps down into the material here. So it's not just the lines that are textured, like it steps all the way down in. I'm not describing it well, but it's very fancy. Very pretty. Okay. So, gasket mount. So we go here, 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 on the bottom case. And don't want to touch these very much if I can avoid it, because they're adhesive. So let's bust out some tweezers. Okay. Just gonna do a quick test fit. Oh wait, the plate is actually what needs to get test fit onto here. Oh, okay, so these little gaps are fine. And that'll just sandwich in there. Okay, good. Because it's kind of overhanging just a touch right here. So I'm a little worried that that's going to get pinched, but we'll see. Okay. I will admit I was kind of hoping this gasket mount setup would be one big piece that is cut and goes in there. It makes sense in a lot of ways that it's not, because that's a lot of wasted material. But that's kind of what I envisioned. Yeah, the week this dropped was also the same week that the Cornish Zen dropped, which was a very tough week for my wallet, and I am assuming for a lot of other people's wallets. I do find it interesting, though, that the Cornish Zen outsold this thing by like 3 to 1, I was half expecting there to be like riots over this board. You know, I set an alarm to get up when it dropped. I was there hitting refresh on the buy page. You know, I had everything ready to go so that I could just click buy as fast as I could. And it turned out that I didn't really need to worry because they never sold out of them. But I think only 400 total are getting made, or something like that. Or 300. There was like 100 went to Japan, 150 went to Europe, and 100 to the US. I don't know. Okay. So there's one set of gaskets down. Depending on how you remove it, the adhesive side may remain on the film side. Okay. Oh, so I gotta then flip this over and do that. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Okay, this is a little bit tough to get in here. Oh, no, that's not what I want either. There. Okay, that's a little wonky in there, but that's fine. It's all just gonna get compressed when I assemble it, I think. Oh yeah, there's a couple of spots. I bet that's like, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's like a dark spot here and a dark spot there. And a little imperfection here. I bet those are the places where the electrodes were attached for the anodization process. And it's totally fine because they're buried inside the case and even under gasket material. Like, you will never ever see that, and it's just... you need to have somewhere to attach the electrodes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Zen outsold the Cornelius. I mean, you sold like 400 Zens, right? Pretty sure the Cornelius sold like 300. There was definitely not the huge burst in demand in the beginning that the Zen had. Like, I was really, like, Canon Keys was gonna do their first come, first serve raffle system and all sorts of, I mean, it was going to be a whole ordeal. And it just turned out that, you know, it was popular. I mean, there were a lot of people there, you know, metaphorically standing in line waiting for the drop. I was one of them. But the Zen was just a way bigger drop. Way more hype around it. Yeah, I was actually just thinking about that. I bet there's a reason not to, because you might accidentally put some of the electrode back into the screw hole. Kind of like reverse anodizing the inside of the screw hole, or maybe you're eating away at the screw hole, which you don't want to do. So it's better to just plug them to keep any material from going in. But I am by no means an anodization expert. I think that's how they anodize jewelry for piercings, though. Because when I got my new jewelry for my new piercings 2 years ago or something like that, they anodized it on site, and it was real quick. And so I'm assuming they just stuck the electrode into the screw hole on the piece. I don't know. It also may be harder for mass manufacturing because it's more of a tedious process to screw the anodes in, or the electrodes. Also, these screw holes are really small. Maybe it's not enough contact for, I don't know. I am 100% speculating. I know nothing about anodization other than you have electrodes and a bath full of liquid metal, basically. Or maybe not even liquid metal. You have something that it pulls material off of and attaches it to the other side. It is pretty small, though. Because remember, it's just a corn that's really smushed together. So it's not the biggest thing in the world. Okay, so that should be all the gaskets installed. Let's see here. Installing the switch. So for the polycarbonate plate, there's protective film on both sides. I have the aluminum plate. Semi-glossy side. Solid switches from the PCB. Okay. So we will set this stuff off to the side for the moment. Get the plate, PCB, and bag O switches. And in this case, I am using Boba U4s in 68 grams. Because I have enough of them, and because I love Boba U4 switches. Okay, the switches snap nicely into the plate, but they're not perfect, so I gotta be careful. Like, they fit, but they're not, like, super snug. They'll knock out from the bottom, you know, not as much as, like, with a 3mm acrylic plate, but definitely easier than, say, shock switches in Pierre's footprint, which you basically need a hammer to get them out. Alright, so I'm going to put the corners in here. And we'll take the QC sticker off. Why not? Wait a second. Is there not supposed to be foam between the plate and the PCB? Yes. Aha! Insert this. If only I read the instructions. Okay. That is all of the switches. Okay, if you're using solderable board, you can solder it here. case assembly. The weights on the bottom are initially attached silver screws. You can change them to black screws if you like. And why not? Can I get this out of here with this screwdriver? No. Okay. Oh man. That is really in there. Pro tip, if you ever need to torque something, you can push down and grab it with a pair of pliers. And you get the leverage from this with the downward force from your hand. And here is the brass weight, and oh man, that is quite the beefy, heavy. That's where most of the weight in this board is. I mean, not to say that the aluminum case part isn't heavy either, but this is way heavier than both of those. Oh. I really wish I could flip that over. It makes me a little bit sad. But that's okay. So we've got 2 of these screws are for this, for the brass weight. Whoops. Okay. Put the bottom foam in the bottom. Goes that way. Put the PCB on top of it. Okay. Install the top body straight from the top while holding the top body by hand to prevent it from coming off. Attach the screws from the back. Okay. So here's our test fitting. Nice, it snaps down into place a little bit. Flip this over carefully. Oops. Oh, wow, that feels just... Oh. There's so much rigidity here with the plate and stuff. I almost feel like I want lighter switches. Let's put some caps on this thing. Okay, so one of the other very anticipated things for me was right around the same time I was able to order this and stuff. Mass drop, or drop as they are called now. They'll still be mass drop to me until the day I die, because yes. They came out with they had a group buy for the extended 2048 keyboard, or sorry, extended 48 caps. The extended 2048. Sorry, totally screwing this up. They're the same. They're the legends. The font they're using for those legends is the same as the Apple Extended Keyboard 2. And for whatever reason, I just love that font, that look of those caps, or the letters, the legends. So they did a run of them with, I think it was Mito doing the design and stuff like that. Their MT3 profile, which I really like. Yeah, so because I wanted to make sure that I had coverage for every possibility I could ever have with them, because I may not ever get them again, I bought a shitload of them. And this is not like 6 sets of the same caps. This is the Colvrack. This is the Media Icono kit. This is the Accent Nomad kit. This is the some other thing. You know, there's like 6 completely different sets of caps in here. So it's going to be interesting to see. Okay, here's the alphas. And here's the Colvrack. So we'll start with just alphas. Because that'll be easier. Because then it gets into decision making of like, okay, which caps do I want to use where? And since it's sculpted profile, then I have to figure out like, okay, what caps fit on this row and stuff. It's gonna be interesting, but we'll see. So this is also kind of the reveal of these caps, because I have opened this just to take a look-see. So yeah, and because I actually don't know the Dvorak layout, despite having used it for years, Hmm. I just realized I messed up a little bit. Oh, I can't find my cap puller at the moment, so I'll just do it the hard way. That needs to come from here, because it's a homing key. It's got a deeper dish to it. And this is also a homing U key. There we go. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to, and I can hear Squash screaming at me right now. Stop with the caps, just go on to the Yeehaw, because that's what we were doing last night. We were watching this other streamer. I can't remember her name, but she was building a 65 or something like that, and did a typing test, and then switched the caps around, did another typing test, and switched the caps around. We were just like, no, stop, go on. We were sitting there waiting for her to build her her Yeehaw. We're not at all interested in anything else. And it was like an hour and a half we were waiting or something like that. It was just funny. But I promise this won't take much longer. Or will it? No, it won't. Okay, so that is one entire box that I can get rid of. Okay. Now I gotta remember what these other kits are. Icono, Nomad, Accent Nomad, and Media Icono. I'm just gonna pull these up on Drop's website. Oop. Accent Nomad. Okay. Seriously, did I buy this for one key? The red escape key? Okay, I guess I did. $30 on one cap. That's not the most expensive cap that I own. That distinction goes to my bongo cap. I think that's the same row. Both. I used Vim for a very, 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 very long time. I have since switched to Emacs, but I use Evil mode, so I'm still basically using Vim, but inside Emacs. So take that as you would like. Okay, so Econo. Okay, so this is, I'm gonna hold this off because this is gonna be for filler keys. Regular Nomad, Media Icono. What's Media Icono? Media icons. Okay, also going to be for fillers. So, Nomad. Oh, wait, you know? Okay, this has the single. Do I want yellow shift keys? I want yellow shift keys. Why not? Make this all colorful and stuff. And I like this little terminal prompt cap, so I'm gonna figure out somewhere to put those. I just remembered something. Two very important keycaps. Now I gotta figure out what to put on this. Really, I just need to dig out my Dev TTY kit and just grab a couple of switches or caps off of it. Okay, so that's weird. It doesn't have a colored tab key. Okay. That's the most expensive keycap I own. $100. But I love it. It's adorable. It's probably worth $500 if I wanted to scalp it. Because bongo cats are just rare. I think he makes like 20 of them a week or 10 of them a week or something. I got lucky and won a raffle. Alright, I'm actually going to hold off on the media icons one for the moment. Because Icono has a lot more, and they look kind of fun. So so I think I want R1s for the most part down here. Those are really tall. Okay, maybe not R1s. Or no, that's R0. Arg. We definitely need a coffee keycap. It doesn't need to be a primary. Definitely have to have a coffee cap. And a bomb cap, I think, is fitting. We need a little Mac cap here. Okay, backspace is that. Space, enter, not used, backspace layer. Want to actually program that so it opens iTerm for me. That'd be really fun. And maybe that opens music. Little zap key. That's my dedicated lock button. Is there coffee in a different row? There's not. Okay. This is the hardest part, really, of building any keyboard, is figuring out which caps you want to put where. It's a struggle. I might as well throw a little shout out to the creator. And there. Beautiful. Perfect in every way. All right, let's get to actually using this thing. Okay, that didn't kill everything. Good, we're good. Turn my fan off. Whoops. Turn my exhaust fan off. And let's kill the noise cancellation so you can actually hear the typing. Not that there's much to hear because they're silent linear or silent tactiles, but we'll go with it anyways. Okay, so oh wait, man. Okay. So we'll do that, but we need to move space. Space. There we go. Backspace. Okay, this should do for now. Okay, let me just check something here. I feel like it's missing some keystrokes. Key tester. Okay. Yeah, it's missing A. Excuse me. I'm gonna find my keycap puller real quick. Maybe not real quick. Okay, I said I was going to find my keycap puller. I'm not. We're going to do this the hard way. Very carefully. Yeah, true. While it's still playing, I might as well listen to it. God, this is terrible. Okay. I know I have one, like, readily available somewhere. Why can I never find the tools that I want? I try to put them all in the same place, but that just means they get lost in the same place. I don't know. Yeah, I know. But I always forget something at the beginning of a stream. I swear, I have a cat puller, like, right in front of me. Yes, I do. I was looking for the wrong color. Of course, that doesn't help me get the switch out, but I have a puller for those. Right here. Okay. As I suspected, a bent switch leg. Put this back in. Little tappy tap. It's not plugged in. Little tappy tap tap. Okay. Okay, all the caps are, or all the switches are registering. Okay, now we're good. All right, let's kill the music for a second. Nice. Now let me hear it for myself. I just realized I still have my headphones on. Okay. All right. Can y'all actually hear that at all? Yeah, I do need to get some better tool organization. Right now I have this, and it's a disaster. But so is the rest of my workbench. I am not an overly organized person. Okay, so it came with bump-ons, but I kind of want to try these dragon grip things I've heard so much about. They're a little flatter. $120, okay. I get to use my heat gun. Why is that not? Oh, 212 is as low as it gets? Okay. I'm actually not going to do this. All right, one more typing test. All right. I really love this thing. I love the switches. I love the caps. The form factor is really nice. Just it's really quiet. Like, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's super quiet. And then of course I get the all important fidget spinner. Which has a surprisingly good bearing for a keycap fidget spinner. And then a bongo. And some cute caps and stuff. Yeah, I like it. I've been using Dvorak for probably 11, 12 years at this point. My first Dvorak keyboard was also my first ortholinear keyboard, which was a Type Matrix 2030. I still have a Type Matrix 2030. It is fully officially retired, but one of these days I kind of want to do a mechanical version of it just for funsies, because I asked them to do it so many times and they were like, no, blah, blah, blah. Because I was like, I love your keyboard, but I hate your keyboard because tiniest little bit of water or liquid and it just kills the whole board. And you can't easily disassemble it to repair it and stuff. And it's like a $110 keyboard, so it's not cheap. When you break it, it's a lot of cash going down the drain. But that was my first ortholinear experience, and I fell in love. Like, the center-mounted enter and backspace keys and stuff. Well, maybe not being able to hear it is actually a good thing, because they are supposed to be silent tactiles. Okay, so let's see if I can do this without killing the USB bus. Are we still good? Looks like it. Whoops. Okay. That was the Cornelius keyboard. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to use it as a daily driver for a little while and see how it goes. Yeah, I'm excited about it. So let's move on now to... Oh, I can't actually use it as a daily driver yet. I need my key map. Okay. So we're back to the other board. Why is... Okay. All right. So next on the list... well, my daily driver right now is a Zaphod. But also... At my desk downstairs, I currently use a, if only I had a different camera that had a better view, Reviung 41. This is the MX version, but I have GTMX switches. They're supposed to be tactile. They're kind of clicky. It's weird. They're the prototype versions. Or the like public beta, if you want to call it that. I don't know. And they are basically impossible to get out of that plate, so that board is now just permanently those switches, because I have another MX Reviung that I need to get a plate for, and it's wireless, so... Okay, so let me gather myself a moment here. Get my music going again, turn the noise filter back on, because we're about to turn the fan back on, because holy crap. It's kind of warm down here with all the lights. And also I have my exhaust fan, which is now in your face. Sorry. Fume extractor. Okay. Turn the soldering iron on. Get my USB cable back. And let's get started on the Yeehaw. So as I said earlier, the Yeehaw is a macropad that's shaped like Texas. It is the meme-est macropad in the West. Or the South, or whatever. It's funny. It's by squashkb. Caleb, he is in the chat right now, or was a minute ago. I've been excited about this board for a while, because like I said, I love meme keyboards. And this is pretty memey. I will say that I am not nearly as committed to the meme as the person we were watching last night, who I'm really sorry, I should have a link to her stream or something, but she went so far as to franken switch some red, white, and blue switches. And while we were like, no, just build the damn keyboard, at the same time I was like, she is committed to the meme. I support this. I don't have nearly the switch selection that she does, so I can't do it. But I am going... I'm trying to stay on theme a little bit. I'm going to use box jades because they're like the loudest clicky switches you can get. And so, just to be obnoxious, I don't know. I just feel like this keyboard is just meant to be obnoxious like crazy. Yeehaw! Thanks for the order, kitchen. Heart. Heart. Alright. What do we got here? There's our... Oh, that is a nice 3D print job. It's our star rotary encoder cap. No, I didn't finish watching. I got bored. Oh, nice. Nice. I love stickers. I really love stickers. Nice. I actually forgot what I ordered. So... this is kind of like Christmas Day for me. Like, I knew I got the keyboard, but I don't remember what kit I got. Oh, and I just realized I want to use a different tip on my soldering iron. This. Okay. I'm going to use my knife tip for the first time. Critis would be proud. Okay, and as I learned last night... Oh, what? Okay, so as I learned last night, if you're using the 3D printed case, which I am, you don't need the bottom plate. However, I will say, I didn't notice on stream last night that if you look at there are rivers. I'm assuming those are the rivers in Texas that are printed on this. That is amazing detail. Like, yeah, this is super cool. Super cool. So I kind of want to not use the case, but anyways, it's just awesome. And I was wrong. I told Kaz last night that the cities were printed on both sides of the PCB, and they are not. So it's a little weird because you flip it over and it's like, okay, great, here's Boca Chica and Houston and stuff, but this is actually flipped backward. But it's okay. It's fine. You can't see it anyways, so who cares? So, it also came with some red, white, and blue caps. A controller, which is, as I understand, pre-flashed with VIA firmware, which is great because I did not prep the firmware for this, although I did look it up because I was going to prep the firmware for it. But I saw that it comes via pre-configured, so I didn't need to. So we've got our traditional rotary encoder cap, which can go in the trash. Ooh, I even got controller sockets and pins. Those will go nice in the box. Okay. So, Yeehaw build guide. I've got all the stuff. Need the following equipment, blah, 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 blah. Solder the reset button. Is this cool enough yet? No. Yeah, the Texas Rivers thing, that's a great touch. That's a really great touch. I didn't notice that in the stream last night. Maybe she didn't, maybe I missed it or whatever, but I didn't notice it. That's impressive. All right, Curtis, that's the fattest knife tip I could find. If you're watching, I hope you're happy. This is way bigger than I need for this, but that's okay, because it'll work. Okay. Now, I remember something last night about knocking out something USB, something, but it doesn't look like it. Maybe that was just hers. But if I throw this on here, USB, and then that's the reset button, looks like it'll work. It's fine. Now I just gotta find the reset button. Excuse me. Stupid COVID. Arg. Oh. Oh my god, get out of the way. It's like I'm trying to grab this switch that's in the bottom of this bag, and every time I go to grip it, something gets in between the tweezers up here and won't let me grip it. But I don't want to just dump the whole bag out because these are tiny components. These little pins are going to go rolling everywhere. Damn it. There. Okay. Got it. Oh, okay, that explains it. I didn't realize that that was a mistake on your part or whatever, that I thought it was something that everyone was going to have to do. Cool. All right, let's get this party started. Oh man, this is crazy. Reset button. LEDs. Okay. Orientation check. And actually, before I do that, yeah. That's better. Okay. Oh, music isn't going. I was like, something isn't right. I don't strictly need to use this method to solder these, but this is a method that Curtis suggests, so I'm giving it a try on these, which are probably a little more forgiving if I screw them up. But basically, little flux, load up a bunch of solder on your iron, and just kind of like slap it on there and let the flux flow it into the right place. And just touch up the other side here. Okay, well, it's quite messy because there's a lot of flux shmoo left, but I also bought some Kim wipes, which are like fancy Kleenex for electronics. So we can clean off the schmoo here. Okay. Looks decent. Side of the sockets, we're not going to socket, we're going to go straight headers because YOLO. But before I plug it in, or rather before I solder it in, I want to plug it in just to make sure it works. Where's my micro USB? Plugged into the wrong place is where it is. Okay. Okay, detects it as a keyboard. Yeah, I'd hate those little bags though. Too small, not useful. Okay. Oh, VIA even has this in the right shape. That's awesome. I haven't used VIA very much, so yeah. Okay, so this is supposed to be TX0. Okay. Okay, now before I do something stupid, like solder the controller in with switches under it that I need to solder, which I almost just did, like seriously almost just did. I'm gonna do my throw this on here. Tape it down. And write no on it. And solder the headers in place. This tip is definitely not for every use case, because this is kind of a pain in the ass. Curtis would probably be like, no, you just gotta solder like eight pins at once. And it's like, okay. I'm not trying to throw shade, Curtis. Okay. Usually I'm not so in the mood for cleaning flux off. I just leave it. But for this board, I want it to look a little nicer. Like it doesn't, I don't need it to be perfect, but just a little nicer. Okay. Sockets are not straight, maybe harder to mount the Pro Micro. Install the standoffs.
We get so wrapped up in numbers in our society, and the most important thing is.
But I don't need the standoffs because I'm using the 3D printed case.
You and I with each other at the moment.
Top of the PCB should look like this. Soldering the rotary encoder. But before we solder the rotary encoder, I am actually going to switch. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I'm actually gonna switch this up just a touch, because if you solder the rotary encoder first and then solder switches, if you put the switches in and flip it over, let's assume this doesn't just pop right out because these are plate or PCB mounted switches, which these are not. But then your rotary encoder stands taller than your switches, so it's hard to get it flat. But if you install plate first, although I think I see what the problem is, because your plate doesn't have room for the rotary encoder to be installed afterward, does it? No, it does. But the problem is that the rotary encoder stands up taller than the switches, so you gotta flip it over, and then you've got like this shit going on. Whereas if you do the switches first, you flip it over, it's flat. You can solder the switches and then put the encoder. We're gonna give that a try real quick. Fortunately, I can do all this without soldering just yet. So this is not irreversible. Rotary has to go first from your testing. Okay, well, we'll see. I believe you. Don't. I will say that something squashkb does for the Curia for this is makes this a little bit, it's not so much that it's rectangular, but it has almost a cutout for the encoder. And if you do it right, it shouldn't affect the ability for the switches to snap into the plate. And then you can put the rotary encoder in afterward. The new fan's great. It's not as good. It doesn't suck as good, so it kind of sucks at sucking. But it is much quieter, which is nice. And it sucks good enough for my needs. Okay, well, it can kind of get in there. I'm not going to push it. I'll do the rotary encoder first. Twist my arm. Thomas also may be using different rotary encoders because his have little feet on the outside here that clip into the PCB, and yours doesn't. So that might be a differentiating factor as well. Seeing the encoder cutouts, didn't want to do that. That's fair. I mean, my argument would be that, well, it's hidden behind the cap, but it's totally... Oh, I guess not. Because it's behind the rotary encoder. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with this approach. The fact that you thought about it and considered it is good enough for me. Because it's an intentional design decision versus a rookie mistake kind of thing or something. I don't know. I say rookie mistake. I am no keyboard designer, so. So with the fan, I guess there's a suck per volume of noise or volume of volume, and ratio, and this has a lower absolute suck ratio, but it has a better, or absolute suck value, but it has a better suck to volume ratio, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't suck as much, but it's quieter while it does it. And since I'm not doing industrial grade soldering with leaded solder, I'm not super concerned about getting every last bit of air through the fan. It's more just so it's mostly not going directly into my face. And it does the job. I will say this big knife tip makes switch soldering a lot easier, because it just packs so much heat. All right. Clickety, clickety, clickety. So I was getting my haircut yesterday, and I was telling my stylist about this. She was like, "How does that work? Like, a keyboard that's shaped like Texas." I'm like, "Oh, it's not a full keyboard. It's just a macropad." But I just think it's hilarious because, I mean, come on, look at this thing. It's gonna be even better in a few minutes once I have it all installed or put into the case. Where'd the Pro Micro go? There it is. Whoops. Whatever. There's one switch in here. And the tip sticks up quite a bit. There. Okay, that worked. I just broke the little tip of it off. There we go. No, they're just headers. No sockets. I don't socket controllers. Are you kidding me? YOLO. Live dangerously. Someday it'll bite me. And that day, I'll learn how to desolder controllers. Or just cut the damn thing off and put a different one on. Something like that. Okay. Let's see if it works. Uh-oh. Nope. The music stopped for a second. I was like, uh-oh, did I just kill USB again, but no, I think I hit pause or something. Well, the lights came on for a second. Oh, okay, because they're toggled. Okay, so we've got one that's not working. Okay, well, they were red and blue, but whatever. Maybe that was an accident. Cool. So all the LEDs work. Let me do a little shmoo cleanup here. Yeehaw! Oops. Yeah. I've noticed the colors get a little weird with LEDs. Alright, a little bit of final assembly here. Okay. I missed something. Oh no, I didn't. They're okay. For a second, I was like, I missed something. How am I supposed to screw this in? Through those very conveniently placed holes. Okay, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. screws. Let's get the sockets out of here. Well, I have places these things go. Sockets go in there. Bump-ons in there. Are these actually just diode leg pieces that you cut off? Or are they some sort of pin that you bought? Also, that is a hell of a lot of screws. Because I think I might actually just throw these in with my diode legs, because they are magnetic. I think I'm going to do that. Okay. Oh no, you didn't. You are a very patient person. I would not have done that. I would have been like, here's some sockets, use your own diode legs. Or just shipped diodes and been like, you don't need the diodes, but just clip the legs off. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, good. Almost lost that screw inside there, which would have been devastating. Well, let's see if I can salvage this one. I mean, it's not like they're expensive. You could get all the diodes you would ever need for like $5. Okay, note to self, don't torque these down too hard because I think they're just screwing into the plastic. Almost finished. Do a little bit of cleaning up while I'm at it. Okay. No, wait, that can't go on first. That's just wrong. Okay, so we've got red. Oh, these don't have arrows printed. Oh well. I want my money back. There's no arrows on the caps. There it is. The meme-est macropad in the West. And it really does sadden me that this is not the bottom. Like, I like the 3D printed case, don't get me wrong. But the rivers, that's a really amazing touch. A really amazing touch. Extra loud and clacky. Beautiful. Bravo. Now to figure out where to put this. Okay, well that finishes that build up. So to kind of recap here. Get it? Cap. Sorry, that was pun not intended, but I went with it. So we've got our beautiful Cornelius keyboard. Oh, I even love where the purple comes through and you can see it. That's just awesome. And we have the excellent, the amazing, the meme-est keyboard, or the meme-est macropad in the West. The Yeehaw. A finer pairing you will not, I don't know, come by, something like that. So yeah. Now time to figure out my key map on this. Play around with this. I like the red, white, and blue, or the red, white, and blue that it kind of came with on the lighting by accident. I don't think this lighting is going to shine through this case at all. So, Caleb, are the files for this case up somewhere? I might try to find someone who can do like translucent filament, or maybe I'll get some translucent filament or something. Although, I mean, I guess it's kind of showing up. It's hard to see because of the bright lights, but you can kind of see it. Now I need to figure out how to make it actually show up its red, white, and blue, which I'm guessing is going to require hacking my own firmware, but maybe I'll do a PR to to the Yeehaw thing, because I think that should be, I think canonically this should be red, white, and blue RGBs if by default, but that's just me. And I don't think it would be that hard to do, probably. So, anyways. I really wish this was wireless. I'm not gonna lie. The wire sticking straight out the back, like, it's gonna drive me nuts. And I don't think I'm gonna use it with the adapter, because the adapter with it sticking straight out the back was just too easy to knock the cable off. And we've already seen that can crash my USB bus. So, don't really want to do that. This thing is so solid, like, it just doesn't move at all when you type on it. It can't, like I'm hitting it pretty decently hard. So yeah. Anyways, this has been a great, fun day. I might do a little ad hoc stream later where I just kind of get on and unannounced, work on the microcontroller stuff. I bought a whole bunch of new microcontrollers. I'm really getting into the stuff. Figuring out SPI and I2C really got me thinking about a bunch of other stuff, got the ball rolling, or the gears turning in my brain. Apparently the Arduino Xiao, this form factor is now becoming kind of a standard in itself. There's a Raspberry, or an RP2040, and another chip that works, or that sits in this form factor that I bought controllers for. I'm going to play around with those. I have some sensor stuff I want to do for my own personal needs, not just for keyboard stuff, so I want to have like a little temperature humidity sensor for in here and outside, and just some other fun stuff to play around with it, give me something to do with microcontrollers. So there's probably going to be a little more of that. Maybe if it becomes a big enough thing, I will start a second channel just for that. I don't think I'm quite to the point where I need to do that. I can just kind of expand the keyboard kitchen to be more like the electronics kitchen or something. Or maybe I'll figure out a way to, or a reason to like embed a temperature sensor into a keyboard, because that could be fun. I don't know, but I'm gonna play around with some stuff. I also kind of want to design a couple of boards around the Xiao. I think the artsy board that I have, this thing, would be almost better served by a Xiao, because it's just as cheap, if not cheaper, than the Pro Micro. It's smaller. It's got enough pins, because you just need 9 pins. Yeah, because you need ground and one for each switch. It has I2C, so you can hook up your OLED still. So it's got all the stuff you need to build one of these. And it runs ZMK, and runs QMK as far as I know, but I don't really care about that because I'm all about ZMK nowadays. So it'd be kind of fun to build something like this, or build one of these around the Xiao. But then, like, as the RP2040 becomes more supported, like apparently there's code in the works for Zephyr to have it fully supported. That's going to be huge, I think, in the keyboard realm, because that's so much more powerful than even the NRFs and stuff that we have right now. So just gonna play around with stuff and see. But you know, for right now, my main goal still is to get the track point working. But I might screw around with that a little bit tonight. No guarantees. But otherwise, I am now going to try really hard to stream Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific. I had some feedback from people who were like, "Oh, I'd love to watch your streams, but I'm at work." But I also have some European people who are like, "Oh, I'd love to watch your streams, but like, it's too late." So that's why I choose like 11 a.m. Also because then I have the rest of the day after this. But then having a weekday or a weekend day means I can bring some other people in or whatever, and maybe I might even differentiate things, like, you know, the big day is Saturday when everyone's around versus Monday, Wednesday is just me screwing around with firmware. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet, but we'll see. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go have an afternoon, and it is burger week this week in Portland, so I'm gonna go find another burger to have tonight. Probably gonna go just down the street to the place I went the other day because that burger was amazing. But meanwhile, type on my new keyboard, mess with Texas, you know what I'm saying? And yeah. So thank you all for stopping by and hanging out, and thank you Caleb from squashkb for the awesome macropad. This is great. The meme-est keyboard in the West. It's so good. It's so good. And I will see about PRing that the LED change, because that'd be kind of fun. So anyways, I'm gonna call it a day. Have a great weekend, have a great evening, have a great everything. Stay safe, stay hydrated, whatever. I don't know. See y'all later.